Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Top Deck King here with another deck. Like I said, unfortunately I haven't been able to play too much, and there's no camera here because I am out of town, but I figured I could still possibly make some videos on my laptop, show some decks that that look pretty interesting. So I figured, why not? Let's do that. But I don't get to play that much right now because I'm out of town on work, but I still get to play a little bit, so, and show some videos off. So this is the deck that I am going to be testing out right now. It is Simic Mid-Range Ramp Control, whatever you want to call it. It's a 2022 standard deck, and yeah, it looks pretty solid. The goal of the deck is to ramp and just start casting Alrund's Epiphanies, Komas, the Cyclone Summoner to remove everything off the board, and then the Dragon obviously to win the game. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. But if you are new to the channel, hopefully you stay around till the matches. The matches will be after this intro. Hopefully you stick around to watch that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, that like button. Check the description of the video. It has the deck list to the deck where you can port it both for Arena, mobile, and PC. If you've played or seen something similar to this deck, please feel free to drop some comments if you've done any changes to the deck or anything like that. I would love to hear some feedback because there's two cards at the moment that I'm not 100% sold on, which is Into the Roil, but everything else, it looks pretty solid. It looks pretty good enough to play. So if you try this deck out, or if you will try this deck out and you get enough testing with it, and let me know what you guys think. If you add any changes to it, let me know. Me and everybody watching this video would love to hear your feedback. But anyways, let us get into the deck tech real quick. So starting off, we have our ramp package here. So we have the Neverwinter Dryad, Prosperous Innkeeper, and Quandrix Cultivator as our ramp spell. So this is a good turn 1 play because you can play this turn 1 and then turn 2 sack it. You got chump block, sack it, grab a forest, put it into play. So it's a 1-drop that gets to block on turn 2 and gets to sack it. If they kill it, that's perfectly fine. They just kill the 1-drop, you know what I mean? Like, they would have to, it doesn't bother me if they kill a 1-drop. If they don't kill it, we get to ramp. Prosperous Innkeeper is kind of good against, it has two good effects. So the effect where whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life. That helps me out against the aggro decks because I can be gaining life here and there, especially since I can just cast this. I'll cast Cultivator. I can cast, some Outrun Epiphany tokens. It gains me life. If you have multiple in play, you can start generating even more life. But on top of that, it's a 2-drop 1/1 that creates a treasure token. So it helps us ramp. And so that's what the main purpose here is for the ramp effect. But the pseudo effect here is the life gain as well. For cultivators here, because like I said, it's a ramp deck. Here's another ramp spell. I could also, instead of cultivator, play some of the sorcery ramp cards, but having the body is what I really want here because it's a 3/4 body, so it's gonna be good against creature based decks. It creates me a body. But on top of that, the other reason why I have it in here is because I can Into the Roil it. But the big one here is so I can Cyclone Summoner. So when I Cyclone Summoner, it bounces everything back, and except for wizards and giants and whatnot, and lands back to everybody's hand. So including my cards. So So if I have Prosperous Innkeeper or Cultivator in play, I play the Cyclone Summoner. I put these back into my hand. Then I can recast them and use them again. So that's the other reason. But we'll see how it works. If it doesn't end up working out, we could easily play some other ramp spells that will put in. I believe there's a 4-mana ramp spell that puts 2 lands into play tap. Or I could play the 3-mana learn effect to grab a land from the deck and then learn. So we'll see. We'll play around with this and see how it works out. But otherwise, I think it should be good, but we'll see. All right, so the next row is going to be our draw power, our bounce effects, our stuff against creature kind of decks. I mean, obviously, so is Cyclone Summoner divides by 0, but it's the cheaper / better effects, I guess. So 2 Into the Roils, like I said, I'm not 100% sold on this, but this is a 2-mana bounce spell on anything. So I'm really using it. Not, I mean, obviously, if you would, it would be nice to use it for 4 mana, but that's not mainly what it is. It's just to kind of keep the tempo off you. They're not rushing you. You could turn 2, bounce some things, but that's what it's for. On top of that, you could bounce your own cards. So if you need to bounce something of your own, you can. I'm giving Inscription of Insight a try here since it's a ramp deck. Getting access to 8 mana shouldn't be hard, and then being able to use all 3 effects against your opponent is pretty good. Returning 2 creatures, scrying and drawing 2 cards, creating XX depending on how many cards you have in your hand. So I'm giving this a try just because this is a ramp deck. I can get to 8 mana pretty easily with this deck so far. 3 sleep. This, since Simic doesn't have any like board wipe effects, I'm running sleep here against those creature decks, those aggro decks, because then I get to tap all their creatures. They don't get to untap. I get to then attack because it taps all their creatures on my turn. I get to then attack with any creatures that I want. Then on their turn, their creatures don't untap, and then comes back to my turn. I can attack again with the same creatures. But the main reason here, it's because to keep their aggression off me. The benefit, the bonus, is that I get to attack them as well. But the main point is to keep their aggression off me. And then we have our counter spell package here: 2 Jwari Disruption, 4 Divide by 0. So this is 2 Jwari. Worst case scenario, we play it as a land. So that's why there's 2 of this in there. We'll see how it tries out. If it ends up becoming more dead in my hand than useful, you know, like where I need to play an untapped land and I draw this, then we'll cut it. But I'm gonna give it a try at 2 and see how it works. Divide by 0 obviously is a best of 1 deck. Having access to a lesson learned package is great. This is a pretty solid card for best of 1, I would say, because it gets to bounce something back to their hand. On top of that, you get to grab something out of your sideboard. So pretty solid deck, pretty solid card there. Next row here is our win cons, our main win cons. Obviously we have Crawling Barons and we have the Hall of Storm Giants, but our main win cons is this row. We have 2 dragons, 2 Cyclone Summoners, and 2 Komas. The dragon, obviously, he's pretty good dragon. 5 mana, ward 4, flying, draws you a card. So that's the main reason why he's in there, obviously, because the ward 4 and draws a card for 5 mana is pretty good. So he's a pretty solid deck, and it can hold Goldspan back also. That's another good reason. So that's with him. Cyclone Summoner here, like I said, it's a ramp deck. So Cyclone Summoner here is in the deck not only as a pseudo win con because it's a 7/7, but the main reason it's in the deck is to bounce all your opponent's permanents. Obviously, you bounces your own too. So when you cast this, make sure if you have any treasures in play, make sure to use the treasures to cast them because it bounces all non-land permanents, so it includes treasures. But yeah, he's just here to kind of reset the board against our opponent. And then the main win con is Koma. You cast this, he's uncounterable. You could protect himself by creating the serpents, creating, 1/3/3 on your turn, 1/3/3 on their turn. He ends up becoming a pretty fast win condition. There's not really much to explain about Koma. He's just we're ramping in the colors. It's a great card. 3 Alrund's Epiphanies, because we're ramps, we need to take some extra turns. Creating 1/1s is great, so there's that. Nothing really special about the lands, it's a 2-color deck, so I'm trying 2 Crawling Barons and 2 Hall of Storm Giants. The reason why I'm doing 2 and 2 is because obviously this comes into play tapped after, it being your second mana, so mana 3 and up, it comes in tapped. It also costs 6 to animate. It becomes a 7/7 with ward 3, which is nice, but making 6 to animate, eventually this will become stronger than this, as long as you keep pumping it, and it only costs 4 to animate this, or I guess, so that's why we're doing 2 and 2. And if this ends up getting in our way more than it helps, I would probably cut one of these, do a 3rd Crawling Barons, and then maybe do another like basic land or something like that, or maybe another Jwari Disruption. But we're going to try it out and see how it works. Like I said, it depends on how it works out. And then nothing really special about the package, the sideboard here. It might change come after the matches. So, but for now, that's what I'm going to be running as my lesson learned card, or I should say lesson cards, but it probably might change. We'll see. Like I said, I know Containment Breach is pretty decent if people are playing all those new enchantments and whatnot. So we might not necessarily need teachings of this or something like that, but we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna give this deck a try and on the ladder, and let's see how we do. So stick around, watch the video, and all right, let's go play. All right, let's go play some Standard 2022. We are playing a Simic Ramp deck. Let's see how this works out. Excalibur. This deck, I was gonna say, I'm like, the hand would have been maybe okay if we had a blue source. We have 0 blue mana. We cannot do anything with this hand, so we're gonna take a mulligan. We'll keep this one. Let's see. Turn 1, turn 2, play that. I guess I could put divide by 0 to the bottom. Since this gives us 3 mana. This is technically 4. Be able to cast this a turn sooner. Could also put this to the bottom, because it's 4 mana. Alright, I'm gonna take a risk and put the cultivator on the bottom instead. World Tree decline, since we're not doing anything with the mana anyways. World Tree, huh? Okay. Alright, well, let's hope we draw another land, because otherwise it's going to spell trouble for us. I mean, we could have kept the cultivator and bottomed this, but I mean, okay. Let's go to combat. I think we're playing against like actually no. I'm like, is this like obs on something? All right. So we have 3 blue. I'm gonna grab a green here because we have 3 blue anyways. Soul Shatter, that's fine. I don't care about that. So then we're back up to 4 mana. Let's see if we could draw a land and untap. Wow, he's playing all the colors, huh? We didn't draw a land, so I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna scry 2, draw 2. If we drew a land, it would have been nice. All right, I don't think I need the Koma. I have one ready. I'll take the land for sure. My opponent looks like they're playing 5 colors. Because World Tree, I mean, we have red, Showdown is called. We have white, black, green. What is this? I have no idea what's happening anymore now. I can't cast Koma. So I'm just going to cast this. And attack for 1. So it says whenever it attacks, roll a d20, create a treasure token, create 2 treasure tokens, create 3 treasure tokens. That's not going to matter because we have this guy to block. I mean, we could chump block if we want. What's he got? Soul Shatter. Ugh, come on. Another one. That's pretty lucky. It's pretty lucky. Let's cast Koma. Gain a life, attack. We keep the Goldspan Dragon now permanently locked. Unless he has another Soul Shatter, then I mean, there's nothing we could really do about that. If opponent has another Soul Shatter, he has another Soul Shatter. Gotta hope they don't. Little Form Blight. That's fine. That's not gonna do anything against me. They're just looking for they're looking for an answer against alright, so now we could do this. Tap target permanent, sacrifice. Since they tapped out, we can do this now. Feed the Swarm. Huh. They're playing an interesting deck. But I don't think they beat us. Well, especially now that. Good game, opponent. Definitely win now. We're gonna hit him for 7 and then hit him for infinite damage more. Draw. Yep. Good game. Alright, let us try some standard 2022. We are playing some Simic Ramp. Some Simic Ramp into the big guys. Let's see how we end up doing in this. Mace the Mind Mender. Interesting. Mace the Mind Mender. Alright, I can keep this. We have a turn 2, a turn 3 play. Depending on, obviously, if we don't draw, I was gonna say, if we don't draw any more lands, hopefully, but it's fine. It's a Crawling Barrens. But we have a turn 2, turn 3 play, possible turn 6 play. We're playing against, interesting. I guess there's no reason not to do that. We get to create the artifact. We couldn't do anything else anyways. Hopefully they don't have a kill spell. And then we could chump block the outlaw. Otherwise they get to generate a token here, which also is not the worst thing, because then we can just divide by 0 the following turn. If they're using their turn to kill off our 1/1 Innkeeper, that's gonna be great for us. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I was not expecting that. So other legendary creatures, huh? Alright, well, that's gonna be interesting. Huh. Interesting. What are we playing against? I'm debating on if I want to bounce it right now and force him to recast it. Because, I don't know what this deck, well, I mean, obviously I don't know what their deck is doing, but that was interesting. What could I grab for my sideboard? There's nothing I could do against it, in a sense. I grab that to draw. No, that's not going to draw me anything. Oh, man. Alright. Just going to bounce it. I don't know what, really, they're going to be doing, so. Ah, I see. Okay. That's interesting. So 1, 2, 3. I guess we'll grab that. We have enough lands in our hand anyways. I'll go ahead and start destroying their artifacts and creating 1/1s. They can almost cast the other side right now, right? They have red, green, white, and colorless. Oh, they can attack and I cast it. That was my mistake. Yep. I guess regardless, they could have done it anyways. But that was my, no, that was my mistake. Now they get to cast. No, why did you do that, opponent? You had all 3 colors, or all 5 colors. You literally had all 5 colors there. I keep drawing lands, unfortunately. Well, I guess we're done. They had all 5 colors, which is surprising they didn't go for it. 2, 4, 5. Battlefield creator. Okay. It creates a legendary. Interesting. Right. This is a different deck, that's for sure. So they get to hit me for 2, 4. They all have vigilance. Yep. I mean, the vigilance part is kind of bad for him because now he doesn't get to generate treasure tokens, but I guess they're technically fine too. All right. Auto pay. I was like, hold on. We're not using my treasure here. I'm drawing so many lands here. 2, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, we drew nothing but lands, unfortunately. Yeah, we just drew way too many lands here. We could have done stuff, but we flooded out here, unfortunately. And we're not going to be able to play Cyclone Summoner, but we get to play, I guess, Koma, but then we don't get to play Cyclone Summoner. 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, we get to do that. Actually, never mind. Sure, it becomes 6, 6. Here, yep, I'll take 6. Huh. Am I missing something? If I block this, take 2, 6, 7. Do you have like a pump spell in your hand that I'm missing? What was the reasoning behind that? What did I miss? Okay. So you have creates a treasure. So you have access to 4 mana. If my Crawling Barrens dies, I'm pretty much dead. If Crawling Baron dies, I'm dead. Okay, that's fine. That I don't care for. Alright. So So it bounces all permanents to their hand except for giants, wizards, and lands. Giants, wizards, and lands. Okay. I'm like, hold on. Let's just make sure just in case. Send it all back to your hand. Send it all back. Reset. We're at 6. Yep. Creates a legendary creature again. So, until then, turn target creature you control has base power and toughness XX, where it becomes a giant addition to its other types. Activate only at sorcery. Alright. So, let's go ahead and cast the Koma. No attacks. No attacks. So it could become, if he makes it into a whatever 6/6 or whatever it is. Sure, that's fine. We're gonna use this and bounce. Yeah, bounce everything. Well, not bounce everything, but you know what I mean. As long as you control 3 more legendary creatures. Jeez. They're just filling up the board. Alright, draw. Another one bites the dust. And another one, and another one, and another one bites the dust. Alright, so tap, target 2 creatures. So this costs 4. This costs 3. So if I bounce this and this, it prevents him from generating too much mana. What does this do when it gets... Whenever attacks, if you attack to a creature with total power 6 or greater this combat, attacking creatures get +1 and turn. Okay. So we're gonna bounce these 2. Target me, obviously. I guess that's technically fine. Sure. It's another win condition. Ooh, that's a very good card though. That is a very excellent card. I gotta start putting pressure on here. I got enough of these that I can just, you know, let's create another one. Koma is gonna win us the game. Cyclone Summoner won us the game. And then Koma into Inscription of Insight, now into a sleep. Good game, opponent. Alrighty then, let's go keep this Simic train running. Keep it running, Simic. 2022 Standard. See what we could do with some more Simic action. So far, it seems pretty good. I mean, I haven't played much with the deck quite yet, but so far it seems pretty good. So let's hope that it just stays that way. Obviously, the format's still new, so you don't really know. I mean, obviously there are established decks or whatnot, but you don't really know what's going to be too good and what's going to be too bad. So we get to go first. I guess we'll keep because we have a turn 2, turn 3, possible turn 4. Can't mold this hand due to the fact that we have spells we can cast. So let's play forest so that way they don't know we're playing blue. Blue's one of those hated colors where they see and they're like, oh, it's counter spells. Alright, Twitch. Okay. Another divide by 0. Another divide by 0. So I didn't want to Into the Roil this because I'm using 2 mana versus 1 because that's only cost 1 to play. So there's no reason to do that. Obviously, they could have... It looks like they're just playing like a sack deck or something here. Some kind of Rakdos Sac or something, I'm assuming. Oh, man. Why you gotta do that, opponent? Why you gotta do that? Alright, so what am I discarding is the question. I guess I could discard Into the Roil here. Because I don't want to discard Koma. So, let's reveal this. So that way I have divide by 0 up. Yeah, I didn't want to discard Koma. I didn't want to discard Cultivator because that ramps me to Koma. Definitely didn't want to discard divide by 0s. So unfortunately, I had to give up Into the Roil. I didn't want to discard my land because if I didn't draw land, then what am I going to do, you know? And if I would have discarded it here, I would have drew this. This would have came in tapped, and then I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So this guy and his discard outlet effects. We'll grab this one. Another Cultivator. Take action. And we'll grab a forest here since we have 3 and 3. So that way we'll grab a forest here. Just making me discard my hand, man. Stop it. So we get to play 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, so unless we draw... Oh, wow, he's digging. He's looking for action. Because, I mean, to just straight up use that. Alright, what am I discarding here? I could discard Cultivator, use this. But if I discard Cultivator... I think I discard Cultivator, right? I can discard Environmental Science. It technically does the same thing. But if I don't draw a land, then I can't play this anyways. This puts a body on the board. Ooh. Alright, I'm going to risk it and hope that I draw a land. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Risk it for the biscuit. Alright, we're down to 16. No, we didn't draw the land. Unfortunately, we didn't draw the land. Oh, darn. Alright. Take action. We'll grab a blue source. I played risky, and it didn't pay off. Alright, we're going to attack. Obviously, he's just going to probably chump block. Or not even. Depending on if he has a discard outlet, he's probably just going to take 3 here. Yep. I'm assuming they're just going to sack this again and draw cards. Either Deadly, whatever, Recluse or Plum or something. They might have a Goldspan Dragon here now, I'm assuming. Acquisition Expert. This guy. Stop touching my hand, opponent. So I can use this to bounce this. That doesn't do anything. So I guess we're just... Oh, no. He has Clerics. So I have to just do 2 of them. Okay, goodbye, divide by 0. Yep. I can't reveal Koma because I'm going to feel... Obviously, Koma would just get... Ugh. Come on. Alright. Yeah. Goodbye, Koma. Alright. Now both goodbye, Koma. You just had so many discard outlets. he has a plum, we're just probably dead. Because that's going to draw him 1, 2, 3. It's going to draw him 5 cards. And he discarded 3 out of our hand in return. So it's not looking good for us at the moment. If we would have drew a land last turn, it would have been, instead of this, we would have had divide by 0. That would have been good. We could have stopped one of them, force him to play the next one, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's not looking good, though, for us. We're not out of it, though, but it's not looking good. Yeah, I guess. And then, I mean, I guess we're just going to play it because it's going to get discarded anyways. So you can put that back to your hand, I guess. Since it gets discarded regardless. Look at this, is crazy, man. It's gonna triple block. Oh, I forgot about that. That was kind of dumb on my part. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, we'll kill 2 of them, I guess. All right, you're up. Quad block. Guess I should have bounced one of the... I mean, I didn't know I was going to draw a land. If I would have drew a non-land, then bouncing like an acquisition expert or something like that would be bad for me. This is a 7/7 with Ward 3. What do you got? Flunk? You should have saved that. You should have saved that for my haul. Sure. Alright, what could we top deck? What could we top deck? Alright. So 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not going to animate it because it could just chump block with the eye twitch. So I'm just going to cast the Dryad and then use it to go grab a land out of the deck. Because if I do it, he just chump blocks with eye twitch. It doesn't help me out. So we'll just hold it back for now. I could chump block one of the acquisition experts and then use the effect. Go grab a land. I have 3 Alrund's Epiphanies would be nice. Man, imagine if I just drew 3 Alrund's Epiphanies in a row. That would be super sick. That'd be crazy. Oh, did I just do it? Uh-oh. I mean, it doesn't win me the game, but that'd be hilarious. That'd be super funny. I guess I should have just maybe foretold it instead. Well, he tapped out, so let's attack you for 8. Well, he didn't tap out, but let's attack you for 8. You're down to 6. You're down to 6. Yep, he's gonna start holding back his creatures now. That's fine with me. Buys me more time. So 4, 7, 8. All right. Kick it. So we're gonna do this, this, and this. So we're gonna target this creature alone. I do not want to return one of those. And then we're gonna target me. Because I do not want to return acquisition expert. I do want Alrund's Epiphany. Wow, we won. Nice. Let's play some more Simic Ramp. Here we got some Simic Ramp in 2022. Oh, I was about to click cancel. Found an opponent. All right, here we go. Let's see how this deck keeps going. Overlord 817. I shall hopefully. Opponent goes first. All right. I'll keep. It's not the greatest hand, but it's a playable hand. As long as my Dryad doesn't die, I can then turn 2, grab a land, make it 3 lands. So we'll see what happens. Let's go to combat. We also have a Jwari Disruption now here. Worst case scenario, also can do that. Linvala. So we'll go ahead and counter Linvala, because we don't want that in play at the moment. We could always do this guy's effect anytime. I mean, obviously it would have been nice to do his effect. Don't really need to do it right now, so I'm just gonna hold it off. Ugh, I wish I would have done it now, because I'm currently not needing the effect at the moment. So I mean, I could just keep pinging them for 1 at the moment, and I'm just like saving up this because I want to use maybe possible at least 2 of the 3. Okay, and divide by 0 is actually pretty good. See, I've already done 5 damage to them with this guy. If they ever try to kill him, I can sack and go grab a land. What does this guy do? Okay, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party creatures you control gain. Is he playing a party deck? Sure. Party time, huh? It's party time. It's party time. I could divide by 0 this. How many lands do I haven't played? 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically 7, 8. I wonder what he possibly has. Alright, let's divide this by 0. They might also have the discard to hand size, or did I do that too late? Let's grab mascot. Yep, they have the discard to hand size, so that's good. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Alright, so they are playing a party deck. It's party time. Alright, so I'm going to go for the mascot and hope it resolves. Worst case scenario, we have Inscription of Insight. Yeah, okay. I figured there was a counter spell on the deck, but it would seem odd for them not to have a counter spell. What are the odds they have another counter spell on top of the counter spell? Let's see if they block. They do not block. Interesting. Alright, well, they have 6 cards in their hand. I have to try to run them out of at least the blue mana is the thing. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. You gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Ooh. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna sack one of these. So I can thin the deck out, hopefully a little bit. Yeah, you get to draw 3 cards. 3, 6, 7. Damn, they have 7-card hand, huh? Alright, we're gonna sack this one too. Thin the deck out some more. Oh my god, thin the deck out of cards, and then let's see, 6, 9, 10. Right? 6, 9, 10. So I can still Jwari Disruption here. So let's do that, do that, do that. So return that, target me. So if they have the counter spell, I can still Jwari here. Send that. Ooh, don't need either one of these cards. Let's create a 5/5. More lands. Decline. We're drawing way too many lands here. Where's all our big payoff cards? We're looking for some big payoff cards. Okay. Oh, sleep. What is this? Your second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. When this class becomes level 2, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Oh, that's pretty good. Beginning of your upkeep, exile. That's actually, that sucks. It's gonna return my 5/5. Yep. Oh
Oh my gosh, so many lands. Oh, if I do this, he's just gonna redo that again. I guess it doesn't really matter if he redoes that again. All right, set you back. If he returns it, I could then do it again. It's forcing him to use more mana. He also has a full hand. Eventually, he's gonna have to discard to hand size. Second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less. Sure. We're doing this dance again. Eventually, I'm going to draw some of my good cards, but until then, I mean... Monarch Aspirant, sure. You got it, opponent. Alright. So if I do this, 3, 6... Do I want to bounce my Cultivator to use it again? I wish I had the overlay where I could see how many lands I have left in the deck. Because, I mean, thinning my deck out is obviously what I want, so I get more action. So maybe I'll just do that. Take action. So we do have 4 lands. So that's good. Then we could just bounce everything again. And you're up. So 4 lands. So we have 4 basics. Now we have 3 basics left. This is hilarious. He keeps bouncing my Cyclone Summoner, and I just keep bouncing his board. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to start drawing some of these extra turn spells, Komas, the dragon. I'll eventually get there. What does this guy do? What costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party? Exile target non-land permanent with controls until it leaves the battlefield. I guess that's a counterable card. I guess that seems counterable. That's not what I'm looking for at all. I should have played this first. Darn it. Because that would have been 1 more life I would have gained. So look at this. We have Komas, Alrund's Epiphany, Dragons, Divide by Zeros. I mean, Into the Roil, another Inscription. Even Hall of Storm Giants, I guess. Crawling Barons. They're just... Oh, I was about to hit decline by accident. There's just so much in the deck that's still viable. Obviously should have done it the other way. I would have gained 1 life. I would have been at 21. So if you have a full party, so Cleric, Rogue, can't be blocked. What does this guy do? Oh, it creates tokens. It creates tokens! Alright, we're going to sleep him. And then hit him for 4. Sure. Let's hope that 1 life... Oh, okay. Let's hope that 1 life doesn't matter, but we'll see. Let's sleep you. And then combat. Attack for 4. What the heck is this? Oh, wow. That was a 2 mana. Costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Each creature in your party. You have 3. How's that? Okay. Sure. Equal to the number of creatures in your party. Jeez. He's putting a lot to the board here. Nice. Very nice. Good thing I have another sleep. That was... Come on, lands. Come on, lands. Get to gain 2 life here. Take action. Please stop drawing lands. Oh my gosh. Let's see. It says at the beginning of your combat turn, if you control a full party, creatures you control gain. Oh, okay. So he's gonna try to do damage to me. No thanks. I don't think he has warrior. Hit you for 2. It would have been lethal if he didn't bounce this, but it is what it is. So he's gonna use the effect to look at the top card of his. Yep. Oh, it's at the beginning of your upkeep. So he did it wrong. Oh, he's gonna create tokens. Okay. Alrund's Epiphany, but I guess it doesn't matter because he creates 3 tokens with this anyways. And then he could create that into a 4/4. All right. Let's see. Let's do all the modes. All right. So what are we gonna bounce? If I bounce this, he gets to redo it. But if I draw Alrund's Epiphany, there's Koma, there's Sleep. Those are both actually really good. 3, 4, 5. Am I dead if I take... I gain 2. If I play Koma, I gain 2, right? He has 3 in his party. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard. So he's missing Wizard at the moment. What are the odds he hits a Wizard? Alright, we're just going to keep them both. Go to combat. Let's attack here. It's going to chump block. Let's cast El Koma and gain 2 more life. Gain another 2 more life. Yep. Exile. What do you exile? Plains? Nice. Alright, if we don't die, we win because we have sleep. As long as he doesn't have a counter spell. What is this? Okay. Oh, he has the wizard now. He has a full party. Creatures you control gain. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card until the end of the turn. Holy moly. He got his full party out. Alright, let me see, how do I do this? Alright. I mean, he's gonna draw a lot of cards. Yep. Resolves. So those are flyers. These are unblockable, I believe, right? If you had another Cleric, Warrior, Wizard into the battlefield under your control. So he has 9 plus 6. I think that's just lethal. Look at all the creatures he has. I should have sleeped, I guess, first. Oh, man. That one can't attack. That one can't attack. So let's see. So let's say I put this one, tap this one down, right? I can't block these. That's 9. I could chump block that. And then I could block another 2 more. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16, 20. That's actually 25 lethal. Wow, I misplayed by not playing the sleep, huh? That sucks. Alright, well, too bad. Oh well. You live and learn, huh? I guess also attacking with this made it so I lose. Oh, he just, I don't know what he's doing. Is this level 2 already? It is. So he gets to draw 3 cards. Yep. He gets to draw actually like 6 cards. Yikes. I don't think I'm doing 6 damage here now. That's fine. Tap out blue. Tap out blue. Tap out blue. Tap out blue. No, not another cultivator. He has the counter spell. I was hoping he would tap out blue so he can't counter me. but he's gonna have that effect. Wow.
All right, let's play some Simics. This might be the last one, and then we're gonna try another different deck after this. So let's see how this deck runs on the last run. Roma. What you doing, Roma? All right, we'll keep. We have a turn 1, turn 2, possible turn 4, I guess. That's a turn 4. What am I saying? Possible. That's a guaranteed turn 4. Because turn 1 we play Dryad. Turn 2 we play Keeper. That gives us a treasure. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it'll be a turn 4 dragon. Alright, so yeah, we're keeping this hand. If our opponent's there. There we go. Hello, opponent. You finally showed up. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. That doesn't do anything against us, but hunt the specimen. What is he grabbing? Pest. All right. Innkeeper. No attacks. No attacks. Put the other pathway on blue. Ooh, mono is a mono black deck. Mono black. Is he gonna kill my Dryad? Or is he gonna play pest summoning? What you got? What you got, opponent? Didn't play anything. What? Alright, well, we're not doing anything either, opponent. You may go. You have an instant speed, sack outlet card. What do you got? Deadly Dispute. You got it. You got it, opponent. Alright, so what the heck are we playing against? Mono black control? It's the only thing I can think of. What is that? What the heck? Oh my gosh, what are we playing against? Why is this guy playing check for traps? If it's answer a sorcery card with flash, it's exiled this way, they lose 1 life, otherwise you lose 1 life. Oh my gosh. Why is he playing check for traps? What is going on? I'm getting trolled here. Why is this card played? It's a 2-mana effect. I mean, maybe it's good. I don't know. But it doesn't seem good. Thin the deck out. Our hand was fine until that happened. Now, not so sure. I guess it depends. I mean, I could still draw 2 cards, I guess. It's not bad. Come on. Let's go, opponent. I literally did this as you passed. Okay, grab forest. My turn. Alright, I guess I thin the deck out. Grab 2 lands. So it'll be 6, 7. This will be 8. So I get to kick this. Let's grab 1 of each, I guess. Put this one on blue. And you're up. No attacks, my friend. No attacks. I do not want to attack you, my friend. Not today. So next turn we get to play this, as long as he doesn't have another random check for traps. And use all 3 effects. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is this guy? Discard a card whenever. To a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. Sure. That's fine. That's an interesting card. Flying Ward. Whenever a permanent with ward becomes target of spell or ability, and opponent controls counter unless that player pays the ward cost.
Discard a card. I see what it is. Okay. No blocks. I see. So if I try to target it, it wards. Alright. So then I guess we have to do a plan B then. Plan B would be do this guy's effect. So 3, 6, 7, 8. So return them back to your hand. And then play this to replay this. Alright. You're up, opponent. The ward ability is a discard outlet. I see. I was going to say, otherwise, I could pay the ward cost. I have a ton of mana. But never mind. It's not that kind of ward. Soul Shatter, sure. Then he can play his Shambling guy. Yep, you got it. Okay, let's do all 3 modes. So return that, target me. No. Submit 1, target me. Could have also returned Prosperous Innkeeper, I guess. Don't want either one of these. I'm looking for the win cons now. There we go. Go to combat, attack you for Uno. And then we get to draw, what is it, 3, 4. We get to draw like 5 cards next turn because of this one. +1, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we get to draw a ton of cards. He's going to go grab the environmental now because he needs lands. Haha. As I predicted, he went for the land. Could also play this. Ooh, Alrund's Epiphany. So I think I still want to draw extra cards here. So who doesn't like drawing a lot of cards, right? I know I do. Let's attack with this. Force him to block, I guess. Yep. You could kill the Prosperous Innkeeper. I doubt it. I think he's creating the treasure. Because it looks like he needs lands. Wow. He actually killed the guy. Okay. Interesting. Alrighty, opponent. I legit was not expecting that. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have access to 11 mana next turn. So play this for 5 and play this for 6. Oh my gosh. Not another one. Come on. Goodbye, Koma. Yeah. Another check for traps. That sucked. But I still get to do what I wanted to do. Wow. Alright. Cast the dragon. Let's take the extra turn. Hit you for 7. Draw a card off it as well. Play the land. Combat. Hit you for 7. Draw a card. Now we have a divide by 0. That's pretty nice. Okay, we'll just take another turn, I guess. Never mind. I should have played this first, actually, because I would have gained more life, but oh well. It's too late. Draw. So we have 4, 9, 10, 11. It's not enough, so just combat. I was going to say I could do this, but do some of these stuff. Draw a card. Another Koma! Good game, opponent. Good game. Alright. Hey, YouTube. Welcome to the final analysis, the end of the deck for me. I made a few changes from the beginning of the video. So hopefully if you want, check out the original version, go back to the beginning of the video. Otherwise, here's the final version that I think is probably the best of the two. But I mean, I don't know. Depends, I guess. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay so far. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up. Check out the description of the video. It has the portable deck list for you. So if you want to port this to Arena, both mobile and PC, you will have it down in the description below. Check that out. If you played something similar to this deck, or play this deck, drop some comments down below. If you make any changes, tell me what you guys think of the deck.
If there's any, like I said, any changes, we would love to hear it down in the comments below. But let's get into the changes I made so far. So the first change I did, I went ahead and added a Vastwood Surge, just because this could grab me 2 lands. So what I did was I cut 1 cultivator for this, since I found that there wasn't too much aggro into the best of 1 at the moment, that we didn't really need the 3/4 body. So I cut 1 for one of these because I could grab 2 lands with this, and then, you know, later down the road, if I end up drawing this, I could kick it and put 1/1 counters on some of my creatures. So we did that. I added another Jwari Disruption. I cut a basic land for it. I figured worst case scenario, this could counter something, or I should say worst case scenario, it's a land. Otherwise it could counter something, and having access to 7 counter spells is pretty solid in the deck. So I ended up adding that. I also cut another one of the Hall of Storm Giants, and I added a Seagate Restoration. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need all that much you know, draw power, but having an access to a Seagate, as you saw in that other match, drawing, you know, 4 or 5 cards in one turn, especially since we're ramping a lot, it's pretty good and effective in a way of refilling your hand. So I added 1 Seagate Restoration. And the last card I ended up cutting 1 Cyclone Summoner. I added the Planeswalker into the deck. I didn't get to really test him too much, but I figured he's a win con. He could draw you cards, you know. When you play him, you go create the 2/2, and then depending on how many cards you have. So I want to try him out, so I ended up putting this in. But if you don't have this Planeswalker, like I said, most of the games I played without him. I played a few games with him, and I haven't really drawn him to the point where, okay, I figured, okay, he's just broken. But otherwise, if you don't have him, you don't have to put him in. You could just put in either another dragon, put another Cyclone Summoner, maybe another Koma. It's up to you. But I would put in, if you were to remove this, I would put in one of the 3 win cons. Probably more Komas and Dragon versus Cyclone Summoner. But if you're running up against a lot of aggro, I guess Cyclone Summoner. So it depends. But I would definitely add one of the 3 creatures, the win cons, in the deck if you end up cutting this. So that's the main deck changes. And as far as the sideboard change, I ended up just taking out the blue draw spell, because like I said, I usually had cards in my hand and I couldn't use it, so I never searched it out. So I added a basic Conjuration here. This way I can possibly grab one of my win cons. I mean, I play enough creatures in the deck, see I'm running 17 creatures, that this should theoretically hit a creature, since it looks at the top 6 cards of your deck for a creature. And then on top of that, I gain 2 life. So that's why I ended up adding that. And so yeah, other than that, those are the changes I've made to the deck, and so far it seems pretty solid. Like I said, I don't have much time to play right now. I'm out of town, so I don't know how good this deck is. I'm still playing in Platinum. I just don't have time to play. Normally I would be, you know, playing these decks in Mythic, and I would know for sure what's good and what's not, but I just don't have time at the moment. And so hopefully I'm counting on you guys, the viewers, to tell me what you guys think of the deck, if it's any good or not. Let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys.